Good morning again, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope you had a lovely weekend in the sunshine. Maybe you managed to get down to the beach and possibly you noticed that the horizon was a horizontal line. Maybe you went for a walk in the woods and noticed that the tall trees formed vertical lines. How do we know whether a line is vertical or horizontal? Who can remind me? Tell me about a vertical line. Imi. Good. A vertical line is perpendicular to the ground, or it meets the floor at a right angle. Excellent. And so a horizontal line then. Theo. Brilliant. A horizontal line is parallel to the floor. I'm glad we have remembered something from last week. Now, today we're going to be graduating on from describing lines to describing shapes. That doesn't mean we can just forget about everything we learned about describing lines last week, because this can help us to describe the sides of a shape. We're going to focus on some things that can help us to describe a shape for our InFocus today. What can we see in this shape that we can use to describe it? Have a quick chat with your parents, pets and partners. Okay, Megan, what did you spot? Good, you saw that our shape has angles we can describe. What else? Ewan, the shape has sides we can describe. Good. Anything else? Aha, measurements. Excellent. What is the length of each of the sides? So, what I'd like you to do first, to start us off today, is to have a go at describing this shape in our InFocus today. Remember, you need to talk about the sides and the angles, not about whether it is wide or skinny or pointy or flat. Okay, 5 minutes then, off you go. So, what did you say about this shape then? Let's start by talking about its sides. Melissa, go for it. Spot on, Melissa. It's got 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does anybody know what that makes it? Aha! I was hoping you'd say that, Mrs. Aspin. No, it's not a square. Not all shapes with 4 sides are a square. A shape with 4 sides is called a quadrilateral. Excellent, Fabian. Quadrilateral literally means 4-sided. Quadrilateral. Okay, so our shape is a quadrilateral. What else? Can we use some of the language from last week? Let's call this line A, B, and this line BC, and this line DC. Ooh. Okay. Fraser, tell me something about our lines. Excellent. Well remembered, Fraser. The line AB, which is this one here, is perpendicular to the line AD. Good. Okay. It meets it at a right angle. The line AD is perpendicular to DC, because it meets it at a right angle. And it's that right angle. But AB is not perpendicular to BC because they don't meet at a right angle, and DC and BC also do not meet at a right angle. So well done. Now, Emma, tell me something else about the sides of this shape. Excellent, Emma. The sides AB here, let's highlight this one in blue this time. AB and DC are in fact parallel. Great. Okay, now let's move on to angles. Aha, lots of hands now. Freddie, tell me something about the angles in this shape. Right, good. This shape has two right angles, as we've already seen. What else? We'll call them, let's call that one Z, and this one Y. Anything else? Well spotted, Lexi. There is an acute angle. Here he is. Let's call that one X. And finally, if we label this angle up here, I'm going to draw it on because they haven't, W. What can we say about that angle? Anya. Good. This angle is an obtuse angle, well remembered from last time. Okay, now measurements will be a little trickier, so I'll just show you that bit for now. Let's have a look. So we've got our angles here. We've got perpendicular and parallel lines there. And finally, we've got some measurements. So, what are the lengths of the sides? Well, FO, if we look on our ruler here, is about 5 centimeters, probably a little bit longer, but about 5 centimeters, which means that this side has, I think that's Hannah is saying, is also 5 centimeters. So we can measure RU with our ruler here, and it starts at 0, ends on just about 8 there, so that's going to be 8 centimeters. So we'd write RU is about 8 centimeters. Let's just write that in. And FR is about, now we can't actually measure that because I can't move this ruler. I don't think I have one on my tools, no. So let's assume, just by looking at this line here, is about the same as that line there. Okay. Right. Now, let's have a look at the guided practice. We'll do the first one together. So, shape number 1 has 4 sides, so must be a quadrilateral. Good. Which sides are parallel? We've got, let's call them AB as usual, BC and DC. So the lines AB and DC are parallel, like so, and also the lines AD and BC are parallel. So I would write that down. I'd write the lines AB and DC are parallel, and also the lines AD and BC are parallel. Every side is perpendicular to the other in this shape, because there are 4 right angles. Each corner of this shape forms a right angle. So every side is perpendicular to the one next to it. Now, you have a go with shape number 2. How can you describe it? I'll give you a couple of minutes for that one. Okay, you should have a description, the same pretty much as shape 1, but you may have added a detail that sides AB and DC are longer than sides AD and BC. This shows that it's a rectangle. Sorry, I will just write that on for you. Same as usual, AB, C, D. So lines AB and DC are parallel. Ooh. And the lines AD AD and BC are parallel, but the lines AB and DC are longer than the lines AD and BC. Okay. So this shows that it's a rectangle, really. Now, try shape 3. Shape 3 has 3 sides, so it's a triangle. Good. It has no parallel or perpendicular lines. This looks a little bit like a right angle, but I tested it with a piece of paper earlier and it is a little bit bigger. It has 2 acute angles. 1, 2. Let's call them A and B. And 1 obtuse angle up here. See, because it's bigger than a right angle. Great. Okay, move on. So, here's your worksheet for today. You need to fill in the blanks. Easy peasy. When you get to question 3, and I'll just show you that now. Question 3. Have a go, but just aware that your answers may be different to the answers that we go through at the end, because your worksheet will probably be a different size to how it would be in the book usually. Okay, off you go, and come back when you're done and we'll go through the answers. Okay, now I don't want this to be extra super long because I'm aware that we had quite a couple of longer videos last week, so I'll whiz through the answers today. So you should have your worksheets in front of you, ready to mark. Question 1, fill in the blanks to describe the angles of each shape. There are how many angles? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 angles. Each angle is a right angle. We can see that each of those angles is a right angle, so they're all perpendicular lines in that one, or perpendicular to each other, next to each other. Okay, B, there are 3 angles altogether. There is 1 right angle and 2 acute angles. We call that a right angled triangle. And C, again, we've got 4 angles. Angles B, where's B? Here. And D are acute angles, and angles A and C are obtuse angles. Question 2. Fill in the blanks to describe the sides of each shape. So now we're talking about the sides. There are 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. The perpendicular sides are AB and BC and AD and DC. The parallel sides are AB and DC and AD and BC. And there are other perpendicular sides here as well that you can include. This shape has 6 sides. EF is parallel to IH, JE is parallel to HG, and I'm assuming JI is parallel to FG. Okay, question 3, there's not much point in me going through. You might need to just check with a parent or an adult whether your measurements were accurate with your ruler or whether you were way off and maybe you need a little bit more practice. Okay, well done. I hope you enjoyed that lesson today, and next lesson we're going to have quite a short one and quite a fun one. So look forward to that. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.